engage, the really smart people in your organizations, the ones who are a little reluctant to come on board, the creatives, the millennials, the really senior people, the bright, bright ones, the ones who sit at the back and, oh God, I've heard this before, you know, those kinds of people. If you can engage them, then 3 brilliant things will happen. 1, they are awesome learners. Awesome. When they pick something up and the light bulb goes up in their eyes, you think, they've got it. They then take it, and they run with it, and they accelerate it, and it's exponential what they can do with it. They come back to you with another question or with a different angle on it. You think, wow, yeah. So you're really building something amazing together. Secondly, they're often very influential. So if you can get them on board, they can spread the word and they can engage and pull in and hook in all those others who are reluctant, but who respect and admire the opinion of that person who you've got on your side. And thirdly, they can be great critics. You may not like what you hear about your program, but if you're in pilot phase, you're looking for great feedback, these are the people who can really shape it to be something that is incredibly good. However, they can sometimes spoil the party. Like this guy in the right-hand corner. You know, there's always one who gets their face in. There's always someone. And they can spoil the party because they can sometimes come reluctant, not understanding, with a bit of a negative view. They sit there and they go, okay, tell me something I don't know. Right? Impress me. Entice me. Seduce me. Where are you? John, this is your story. Seduce me. Flirt with me. Get me on board. You know, they can be a bit like that. And fair enough. The second type is those who say, yes, but actually my priority is the business. So unless you can link it directly to what I'm trying to do in my KPIs, all those things that John was describing to us in the new platform, don't even ask me to go there. It's got to be shown to be highly business focused and highly relevant to my position. And then there are the people who say, yeah, but you know, don't bore me. That is sin number 1. I do not want to be bored. I want to be kept alive every moment. I want to feel like this is the experience of the week, of the month, of my year. So, how do we wow these people? I think there are only 2 secrets. One is you touch their sweet spot. And the second thing is make it as easy and give them as little trouble as possible. So how do we do this? Well, the first thing I'm going to suggest is, and you probably already accept this as deliverers, as designers, as managers of learning and development, you know that you've got to find the best content and the best people and the best methods for delivering them. But what do we mean by best? Let's do the people first. You know, it's very interesting, but clever people, really smart people, respect very much other really clever, really smart people. The other thing which is really important about the content of your programs is smart people will have, even if they haven't read every classic HBR article or seen all the latest books, they will not want to admit that they've picked up those trashy business paperbacks at the airport. They probably have done, and they've read them, but they won't want to admit it. So you have to go beyond the normal, beyond the usual source of content for these people. And you have to follow curators like, I don't know, TED, Wired, Prospect Magazine. This is where the ideas will come from that will excite them because they're outside their usual content bases. And furthermore, look beyond their own disciplines. So even for scientists, bring in poets, bring in musicians and artists. Get them talking to each other. The technologies available to us include augmented reality. How many of you are using that already in your learning programs? 1. Good, good. Well done, sir. Other things like a lot of AI we see at the moment, games, films, videos. We're used to this multimedia world. We're used to being excited by moving images. And the last thing you need to do really is bore these clever people. They will not forgive you if you bore them. They will not forgive you if you don't tailor it exactly to their needs as well. Really clever, successful people, you think you can get them to come on a training course with people who aren't clever? They sit there and they hear the same questions being asked that they've heard for years. They're already 2 steps ahead in their thinking before the deliverer or the tutor, the facilitator says anything. These are hard people to engage. So you really do have to make sure you're tailoring as tightly as you can to the needs that they have of you. Something that's really, really important to me is that when we take ordinary learning content, which is in written form, and we try to convert it into digital, we must be very careful. We can't just, move it over. It's still got to be highly interactive, it's got to use sound, it's got to use animation, it's got to use film, and it's got to have all those links in there which bring it alive. Otherwise, why bother with the technology? My last tip about really clever people and engaging them as learning is please don't forget the cohort. Now, you're here today because, you could have read this stuff online, you could have bought the video afterwards, but you're here today because you wanted to be part of an event. And I think that need for people, clever or otherwise, to flock, to enjoy simultaneously an event is really, really important. So that idea of bonding, of forming groups of people who are hearing the same thing at the same time and able to then talk about it is why you're here at a conference rather than downloading it later. So with smart people, it's exactly the same. Let's not forget, it's not a solitary journey with these people. It could be, but often we want to congregate. And for many people, the cohort is a way of bonding. And for smart people in particular, it's a way of being part of a shared experience and forming those relationships with people who you respect, who you admire, and who you can continue the conversation with afterwards. In summary, what I just wanted to say is we must make it easy for people, or they're just not going to do it. We must tailor it to the individual needs. We must choose the very best content and delivery methods that we can. And we should exploit the technology, but not solely for the sake of the really smart ones, for all of us.